Preseason quarterback battles. A lot of them going on, guys. But I think the headline really is over in New England. Mac Jones, Cam Newton. Uh, Jack, you earlier in the show mentioned your pick, and I got to agree wholeheartedly, at least now. I'll compare the two stats. Both of them put on great showings. Cam went 8 for 9, 103 yards, and 1 touchdown. Mac Jones, 13 for 19, 146 yards. Did not throw for a touchdown. But two very good outings by two potentially very good quarterbacks this season, depending on who gets to go. Obviously, Bill Belichick has not named the starter yet. I can assume it would be Cam Newton. I don't know. I think that's the smart decision to make. I also think now him year two in this offense, in this system, a lot more weapons. The Patriots are a little more revamped. I think you got to give the vet a chance, especially because it's just so different for Cam Newton. It's not like he's, as much as I love Ryan Fitzpatrick, it's not like he's a Ryan Fitzpatrick where he, is a journeyman going and just filling a role for people. This guy was an MVP 5-6 years ago. Got hurt, but who knows? Maybe he has some flashes of that in his game this season. He was nothing spectacular last year, but maybe he picks it up. Maybe he gets going. And worst case, then that's when you have the young guy waiting to take his place. I think it's almost like you say cogs in the machine, but it's really just leadership. The veteran gets the job first. I think in any situation here, especially with Cam Newton's experience, his talent, his what he's shown he can do. Mac Jones has potential and he's young. I think you give it to Cam. I think no brainer here.
Yeah, I think it's and I'll let Jack speak. I'm sure he's got a lot of interesting points on this. But with Cam Newton, first of all, from the preseason game, you can only take so much from it because, of course, they're playing an Eagles team that I think most of their defensive starters weren't even playing in that game, even when Cam Newton was on the field as the first team offense there. But Cam looked great, and the big thing with Cam is the arm strength. That's something that has been an issue for him. He's been hurt. Last year, he certainly didn't have it. This year, things look a little different. I think the arm strength looks a lot better, and he looks a lot more comfortable in the pocket, which is something that he struggled with at times last year as well. So those are really positive signs. I think both of you are kind of right here. It is kind of Newton's job to lose here, and I think he will be given the nod. But Mac Jones looks good as well, and I think Bill Belichick. I talked about this, leading into the show as well, is that Bill Belichick obviously, cherishes competition in a situation like this, even if it is Newton's job to lose, even if it seems like Newton will take the job. The fact that this competition is going to make Mac Jones a lot better. It could make Cam Newton better as well. If Cam Newton comes out and doesn't have it, kind of like he was last year, and shows that form of football instead of what maybe he used to be or maybe he's improving from, then you go to Mac Jones. You go to a guy that has seemed to taken up the offense pretty quickly. He's worked in pro style system at Alabama. He has the experience winning lots of games at Alabama. And sure, things will be a little different with the New England Patriots, but he can step up and be in that role if Cam Newton struggles and doesn't have it kind of like last year. But what I've seen from so far is the arm strength is better, and that's huge. And I think that's going to give him the job, especially here for the Patriots.
Yeah, earlier in the show, I mentioned Luke Voigt and how I think that Anthony Rizzo has kind of put pressure on him and, maybe motivated him to go out and be the best player he can be. And I think that applies to the Mac Jones and Cam Newton situation. Mac Jones has been spectacular, and that's exactly what you want to see out of your rookie quarterback. And I think that's lit a fire under Cam Newton, who's also looked great in this preseason. It's a good problem to have two quarterbacks that look really good. And I agree that Cam Newton's arm's looking better. I'm happy that he's got another year in the system, learning that Patriots playbook, and they've added weapons. So I think that it's a good move not to have named the starter right now because, it makes Cam Newton have to put pressure on himself. And, it instills confidence or maybe it motivates him to work hard. But I think that it's Cam's job to lose until Mac Jones' talent is just undeniable, until he has to be the guy on the field, or if Cam Newton gets hurt, because he's been dealing with those issues over the past couple of years. And, that's how Tom Brady made his start in the NFL. And I'd love I'd love to see Mac Jones start with a bang as well.
Be a crazy deja vu if that were to happen.
Yeah, for sure. Especially because, I mean, you can't compare. Comparing anyone to Tom Brady is way too much to ask. But
it's not fair.
I mean, no, not at all. But I mean, maybe Mac Jones does get his start that way. Jack, before we go to break, I want to ask, what are your expectations for the Pats this year? I'm curious. What do you think is the ceiling for them, or maybe what do you expect from them?
I expect them to. They're not going to win the division.
Yeah, you got the Bills there. I mean,
Bills are the better team. I'm trying to come up with the exact number. Maybe 12 wins.
Okay.
11 wins. 11. I mean,
and who's the starting quarterback for most of those games? Is that Newton or is that Mac Jones? Who do you think?
I'd say Mac Jones comes in around week 7 or 8, and I think they're a wild card team.
Some bold claims right here. I don't know. I mean, that's pretty high expectations.
12 wins.
He's got the Patriots. He's got the Patriots Cup there, so he's all in optimistic on what. Okay. He's optimistic.
Season. We'll see.
Yeah, that's true. It is. So. Yeah, you got to add that into consideration. It is another week, so
maybe give him 10.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, 10. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's going to depend a lot on this quarterback situation, to be honest. I think if Newton plays well, that's going to motivate Mac Jones to play even better, kind of like we talked about, which will help both of the quarterbacks in that situation. But if Newton struggles early, that could be dangerous because it puts Mac Jones at the center and taking the brunt of the reps and being that starting quarterback. And you don't want to rush him into that. You really don't, especially a young quarterback that you see as part of your future. You don't want to rush him into that starting role. You want to let Cam Newton, the leader, the veteran, kind of take the snaps starting. So I think he's going to get the job, but we'll see what happens with Mac Jones. We'll see what happens with the Patriots going forward, obviously. Overcoming the Bills seems like quite a lot, but
I don't think they're going to do it. I said
I know. I didn't mean to put words in your mouth. I know the Bills will be leaders in that division, but the Patriots, we'll see. We have this on record, so we will see if Jack's prediction or if Nick's or we could both be wrong for all we know. We have no idea.